and welcome to Taheton Farms. We're back with another episode of Taheton County, and today we're going to be wrapping up the last little bit of lime that we've got to spread out here in this larger field. Now, off camera, I did swap out our semi-truck. I just couldn't handle hauling lime out to the fields here with a truck that couldn't even hold a full hopper load for our guy here. And this truck setup is more common to what I remember seeing, and I appreciate the messages from those of you in the community suggesting, hey, why don't you switch out for something like this, as it would be more realistic. And we are definitely approving of this. Now, I think realistically, I'm going to get out here in the field. We started the headland pass. I didn't even make it around the headlands with what I had in the spreader. I think realistically I'm supposed to dump the back trailer and then disconnect it and dump the front trailer rather than dumping on the trailer bar here, drawbar on the dolly. So we're gonna do that, and I think we're gonna dump this stuff off right over here in the corner of the field. And I'm trying to remember now, it's been a couple days since I set this up. If I do a Control I, nope, wrong one. It's funny is when I'm selecting the back trailer or the front trailer for the covers, this is the one that opens, and then when I select the back trailer here and push my cover key, the front one unloads. However, they're inverted from a dumping perspective. And so I'm going to start dumping this back trailer here, and I do have the fast dump turned on because it was just taking a long time to dump otherwise. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and just pull forward here, and then if I disconnect the dolly like so, I can swing around, and I'm going to dump this pile of lime into the same position. And then we can go and hook up our trailer and get it out of here. The transmission, the gearing on the truck is way more important with these heavy loads. This lime weighs a ton, and these trailers hold a lot more than that other small trailer that we had does. And so it's always a little bit more of a pain to, get this thing going. Did not mean to drive over the pile there. And of course, now I'm a bit hung up. All right, let's see if this is gonna solve our problem. No? Okay, let me try one more time. Hang on. All right, there we go. Got ourselves free. Let's go ahead now and just back this guy right up to the same pile. And I'm gonna just dump it in a big pile. It's easier to scoop up when I do that. So there we go. Tip this up and out it goes. Oh, it's not finding quite enough room. Let me pull forward a bit. There we are. Keep going, keep going. All emptied out. Very nice. This trailer does have, I think, a more unrealistic size capacity option, but I did not go with that. We left the capacities at the default value, and it's more than sufficient for the lime hauling here, I feel like. And we'll also be able to use this setup for grain as well. However, I've only got the 2 semis right now, and we do have 2 grain trailers. So I'm going to have to think about that. My goodness, I did not line this up very well at all. Let's try this one more time. 3rd time's the charm. So with a big pile of lime out here, we need to get our front loader brought out here as well so that we can fill up our spreader here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to park this off of the field just so we're out of the way, and then we're going to go and grab that wheel loader and bring it out here. Now, rather than haul the wheel loader out to the field manually at 20 miles an hour, we have borrowed the flatbed trailer from the dealership and loaded it up on here because this is going to be a lot faster for us, I think, to get out to these fields, especially when they're away from our farm. And I just didn't feel like spending the money to buy our own flatbed trailer just to haul it out to this one field, because it's really our only field that's a ways away from the farm here. and the dealership was kind enough to let us borrow this for the afternoon. They had a couple of flatbed trailers sitting out there that they use for deliveries. They are included in the map, so it's very handy to have a couple pieces of generic equipment that can get used for stuff like this. For those big silver trailers, I did end up leasing the trailer setup. Just because we are running pretty low on funds at this point. And we sold the Demco trailer I'd started the farm with, but we are now running a little bit, I guess, of debt with the lease going on for those trailers. I think they were about $5,000 a pop. To lease them, they're $100 and something thousand to buy those trailers the way that I've got them set up. I'm trying to decide if we're going to keep that lease and leverage like lease to own, or if I'm going to just get rid of them once we're through the spring here. I'm not sure, but it helps us get through all of this spreading, and I probably don't need more trailers right now, since I've already got 2 for the semis that we've already got. So I'm on the fence, but I think I'll probably return the lease when we're done with it here. And if I need it again, we can always get another lease. I think I just smashed into this fence. We're going to back up just a little bit to make sure I get by it. Oh, we're good. Now, I don't know where a great place is to unload this. I really probably wouldn't take it down the hill like this. We're going to do it. We'll just take it all the way down to the bottom here and get it set up to unload. Take all of our straps off and such. And if we're real careful with this, it's pretty easy to get on and off of this trailer. I was worried that without extensions we might be hanging off the side of the trailer a bit much, but we've not had any issues whatsoever. It's worked out pretty well. As long as we're in here, I'm going to go ahead and get us a scoop of this. And you can see how much easier it is with a big pile like that. And then I'm going to probably bring our spreader right on over here. So I'm going to raise this bucket up, and then I'll just drive right under it so I know where I want to be. I'm going to put it right about there. Realistically, I probably wouldn't want to load on a side hill quite like this, I suppose. Well, we're in position. I'm going to go for it. I think it's going to be fine. Oops. And then we just fold that back in. Drop our bucket down. I want to be on this side for visibility. Scoop up a bucket. And let's see if we can actually do this just a little bit faster now. Load that up. Dump that. Perfect. Yeah, this doesn't take nearly as long as I was thinking it would. I don't know why I haven't done stuff like this in the past. I'm always afraid of processes that are gonna just, be too painful to be sustainable. We dumped a little bit on the ground there. It's not a problem. We'll be able to recover that after the fact. But as you can see, a truckload of this is going to last a lot longer than our other trailer was getting us through. And this should be, our last scoop. Let me actually get a scoop though. I have to say the tire tracks on the ground are somewhat helpful as well to figuring out where you need to be to line up scoop after scoop. You don't have to pay so close attention to everything else. We're dumping what's left all over the place. Trying to deal with this high dump bucket can be a little tricky sometimes with the way the controls are set up for me right now. But I'm going to go ahead and just get another scoop of this so that we're ready to go. Like so. And let's go ahead and get the spreader moving again here. We do have a nice course play course all set up for ourselves here. and that's going to help us really fly through getting this done. I'm going to take this back out here to where we were and start ourselves back off. We were doing the headland pass here, the first headland pass, and didn't quite make it all the way around the field. I don't know, honestly, I don't know that we're going to need all of that lime that we brought out into the field and dumped this trip. We probably could have done with just one hopper full, if I'm being honest, but it is what it is. I've already dumped it on the ground, so we'll see how much of that we end up using. Where is he going? Why does he have such a huge offset? There's no offset. I have no idea why he did that. Alright, well, let me get rid of this offset and start him over again. Weirdness. Looking good. Alrighty, well, in that case, let's go ahead and just adjust the settings the way I like them, and we're going to let this guy go to town on spreading lime out here. While he does that, I'm going to jump back over to the farm, and I think we're all done with the whatchamacallit here. We're going to get the tractor and plow all washed up here. This chisel plow got a lot of work done this spring, and I'm looking forward to getting ourselves into, what do you call it, a normal cycle where we don't have to do all of the work every spring. We can get a lot of this stuff done in the fall in between what we're working on, and I think that things will flow a little bit better. I'm anxious to get into the planting season here myself, and I'm beginning to wonder if one planter is going to be enough for us. I think that we're going to end up having to lease a second planting setup just to cover the amount of acres that I want to get done in the amount of time I want to get done. We're going to find out, though. We'll see how fast it goes. If I'm not mistaken, the planter's set up to go pretty fast, so maybe we'll be able to cover the acres quicker than I think. And I am going to back this whole thing up into the shed. We've got the space. Normally I probably wouldn't store tillage equipment inside, but why not? We don't actually have a lot of yard space that we could put something like this anyway. So we're going to put it in the shed. So with all the equipment cleaned up and put back in the shed from the tillage, I'm bounced back over here to the field to check in on our spreader, and we're just coming up empty, very close to where we're at in the field for reloading, at least on the right end of the field, which is perfect. I always appreciate when there's convenience like that. We don't have to drive so far to get refilled. I'm going to go ahead and get this guy dropped back off here. And I am really nervous about how big this pile is and how much lime we're going to end up using total in this field. We'll see. I still haven't quite got a great sense of volumes for how much lime gets spread on a field and stuff like that. We're still working through that, as I don't tend to pay that much attention to stuff like that in my past series. Let me get the preferred camera angle here and dump. There we go. Oh no. I don't know why it stopped dumping into the container for the last little bit there. It's unfortunate. We'll have a bit of lime to clean up for sure when we're all done here. It is what it is. But speaking of lots of material, I think one of the things that I want to do here is we're going to get some kind of a silo organization system, or for our seed, our extra lime and fertilizer, things like that, where I don't need to continue to drive up to a fill point every time. I'd rather be able to store our leftovers, maybe stockpile some, possibly even get it purchased and delivered to the farm, and then we haul from the farm. So I know there's a number of different mods for sell points and stuff on the farm, fill points. But I've got one that I've used in the past. It's been a while since I've used anything like that, that has all of the different fill points built into one. And since we don't even have a diesel point on our farm right now, I figured getting an all-for-one storage unit would probably be the best point. I think this one that I'm thinking of has diesel. Maybe it doesn't. But either way, it's a Meridian storage yard here, which has all the normal fill types. It doesn't look like it has diesel, so I might still have to get diesel. But given all the stuff that we're going to do on the farm this time, I thought something like this would work out really well. So we're going to be trying that out in the series here. I got to find a place on the farm to put something like that. So maybe we'll do that right after we're done getting this guy going again. And there we go. Got the last of it put in here. I did lose a bucket underneath. We'll have to clean that up here. But let's get the spreader moving here. And now that I've been talking about putting down that placeable yard, I definitely want to get over there and do that. I think I know where I want to put that. Right on that fence in the back of the yard there. I think there's going to be enough room. So let's get this guy started and then jump over there so we can see. I don't think I'm going to have enough money, though. If I remember right, when we were just looking at it, it was $65,000 or something like that. So let me get this guy started off here. And I'm going to go ahead and take out a little bit of a loan. Not a lot, but maybe we'll go up to $50,000. As you can see, we're running in the hole already here from getting the series started off. If we jump into the construction view and then just zip back across the way to the farm here. Where is the farm? Not there. Here we go. Yep, the lights are pointing this way, so this is the front of it. And we've got lots of room here. I think the plan, though, is going to be to kind of center it. I want to be able to auto drive and come in and go around potentially. Overlaps with another object. There we go. I'm going to go all the way over to there. I think that's going to look and work pretty good. Yeah, that blends in real nice. It's got the same ground texture as our driveway. I like it. The back's a little off, but it's not too bad. That looks fine. All right, well, this is looking good. And then I can always come in here, and if I wanted to, I could buy any of these products. Water, lime, liquid fertilizer, seed, herbicide, solid fertilizer. Yeah, we're good to go. This is going to work out great for us. We can refill things up here in the yard and take them out to the fields. Save us a lot of time. I don't know cost-wise if buying them directly here and then hauling them somewhere is going to be that much more expensive than if we'd gone to the fill point on the map and purchased them. I guess we'll find out. But it's going to be worth the convenience for sure. While we wait for that guy to finish filling, we might as well try and clean up a little bit of our mess here. See if I can get a good chunk of that scooped up. 97%. Might be hard to get the last couple percent here. There we go. Not bad. So while the lime spreader is still going, I'm going to jump over here and we're going to take the planter over to our new station here and see about topping off the seed and the liquid fertilizer that we have here. I don't know. I don't think it's going to refill on its own, so I'm going to have to buy some material to put in there, and then I can refill the planter and the chemical tanks. Let's just do that real quick. If I come over here to liquid fertilizer, I don't need the maximum amount. I'm trying to look here. I could probably get away with buying 5,000 liters. I don't know how far that's going to go. Maybe I'll buy 10,000 liters. We'll just see how that works out. And then I'm going to go to seeds. And, oh, it's a combined capacity across all the different containers. That's interesting. We're going to buy 10,000 liters of seeds. And, oh, I don't have enough money, it says. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. All right, I'm going to take our loan up to 100K. And we'll see how that plays out. Well, that's not as many seeds as I thought it would be. What I like about doing it this way, though, is we've got somewhere to put our leftovers. I'm not sure where the refill point is for these, so I'm kind of testing as I go along. All right, we've found the refill point here. It looks like we're getting our corn loaded up now first, and then hopefully we can get this liquid fertilizer going. There we go. Now it's filling. Perfect, I like it. And I believe that is all of the stuff from the planter. Let me back it up here. It seems like some of my attachment points are inverted. The one on the front of the tractor seems like it's the planter, and the one on the back here seems like it's the tanks on the tractor. I don't know what's going on here, but we've got it all sorted now. And we've got all of our seed and liquid fertilizer topped off and ready to go, which is great. We're going to be able to jump right into planting here pretty soon. I'm going to pull this up a little bit away from this. I don't know which field we're going to end up doing first, so I'm going to just leave this here for now. And we're going to come back out here and check and see how the spreader's doing. He's got 36% left in the hopper. Looks like we're heading up to tackle some more short rows here on the middle parts of this field. If we just take a quick glance here at the pH levels, it looks like we don't have that much of the field left to do. The two small areas here and here. And then I did apparently forget our two smaller fields on the main farm over here. So we will have to load up and go back and tackle those here as well. What we'll probably end up doing is once we finish here, we'll top the spreader off with what we got laying out in the field and just run the spreader down the road full and go hit those fields. I do think we're going to have a little bit of extra lime left on the ground when we're all set and done with this, and I'm going to have to scoop back up into the semi. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I'm going to let this guy go. We'll catch up with you here when he gets emptied out. We're closing in on the end of the field here, and unfortunately, we're also right at the end of this hopper full of lime. We're down to 2%. I'm going to take over and just drive manually here. We're not going to have enough to finish, though. Unfortunate. I was really hoping not to have to drive all the way back out here, but it's a big enough piece of the field there that we're going to need to dive into it and come back out here and finish that off. The planes flying overhead are somewhat distracting at times. But yeah, as I was saying, I can't believe we ran out right at the end like that. It always seems to work that way. I'm probably going to just put one bucket full in here. I should probably just fill it up while I'm here. I'm going to want to top it back off after we're done, though, so I don't want to spend a lot of time monkeying around here. I just want to get this field done. See if I can line this up on the first try. And yeah, we're going to go for one more bucket as long as we're here, just to make sure that when we get out there, we've got enough to finish the field. I can't imagine we wouldn't, but you never know. And I'd hate to drive all the way back out there and not have enough to finish. And maybe we'll go for topping it off. I know I'm wibble-wobbling back and forth here quite a bit, but I am always nervous that something will go wrong. We'll waste a bunch of extra time, and I need to top this thing off no matter what we do before we head off to the next field. So here we go, getting it all dumped in here. I can't even see it yet. I thought this thing only took 4 buckets, but it must take 5, and I'm getting myself confused again. I'm not looking forward to having to scoop all of this lime up and put it into the semi again, though. I really should have dumped one hopper at a time. That way we weren't wasting so much effort. And since the last one never fully fits in there anyway, I'm just going to park this thing. And we'll go finish spreading and top it off when we're back. Got 83% in here. One of the downsides to filling it up with lime is it runs back and forth across the fields a lot slower. And we're back out here. I'm just going to finish this up manually. No need to run around with the course play. I think I've got most of this. It looks like a big spot that I missed, but I think there's only 2 little tiny spots that are actually missed on that. So I'm going to go ahead and tackle that. There we go. And I should just have 1 round left up here to finish this bit off. I love being able to use precision farming for stuff like this. I do have the anhydrous ready version of precision farming installed. So I will be trying to dive into some anhydrous probably in the fall. I know that there's people that do the anhydrous in the spring and some that do it in the fall. I know in southern Minnesota, at least where we were at, we almost always did it in the fall. There's some different reasons why you would do it earlier or later, but we'll play around with that a bit in the next season here, I think, or in the fall as we get past the season. I'm just so excited to tackle our row crop ready planting this spring that I don't want to wait for applying our nitrogen via the anhydrous ammonia. I'd rather just dive right into it with the planter setup that we've got right now. I've got liquid nitrogen on there, so we'll be able to tackle that. I think that planter might be set up to handle herbicide at some point. I'm not sure. I thought I read that somewhere, but maybe not. I think by default, though, it's going to just be liquid fertilizer here. I am going to pull this guy right back down here, though. We're going to top it off. And I've got those 2 little fields that still need a little bit of lime spread on them here. Want to get all of this spread here in the spring so that the rain can take this down into the soil. I think probably typically you would do lime in the fall as well. So maybe next time we need to do this, I'll try and remember that we need to spread it in the fall. However, the ground was just so bad that I didn't want to lose out on all that yield. Starting off a new series, it's always painful getting the ground states back up into a good spot. This is a job we won't have to do for a couple of years at least. And because we managed to empty that first full bucket, we're going to go ahead and top it off with a second. I don't think that we'll be able to get all of this in there because it's looking pretty full right now. There we go. I've got more of it in there than I expected, 30% of it. And we'll just set this back down here. I'm going to come out and clean up the lime in this field in a later point. Right now we're trying to focus on getting this lime spreading done, and that means taking this guy over and tackling these 2 fields just north of us. I think I can squeeze out of this gate. I have the wheels extended because this particular vehicle, the brakes don't work when you're full, is a little bit tipsy on the roads. Not me, not my driving. It's not that I'm tipsy. The vehicle likes to tip quite a bit, and we're going to try and keep all 4 wheels on the ground, or all 6 wheels, I guess, as the case may be. And these fields are so small that there's no point in creating a play course for them. Now, looking at them, it looks like they just had lime spread on them, but Farm Sim is deceiving us. There's not actually lime on this field, so I'm going to have to wing this a bit and see if I can figure out where we're at without the visual aid of seeing the lime get spread on the ground here. I suppose what we could do, well, I'm just going to go around and do the headlands first. I was going to say, I suppose what we could do is leverage our guidance steering here, or our GPS on the enhanced vehicle mod. I think I remember how to do that. And I think it's right control 1 for the width, right control 2 for the track, and then is it right control end to snap to it? There we go. It's looking pretty good. I do have the lines turned off. I know there's a bunch of different modes for that, but for whatever reason, I find it just kind of clutters up the view when I'm using it. So I'd rather leave them off and see if we can just wing it. We've got so much information over on the right-hand panel there above the speedometer that it feels like I don't need the lines like I do with GPS sometimes when I'm trying to figure out where I'm at. Push the wrong keys though, and weird things happen. I don't know what right control delete means just yet. We'll have to look that one up, but it tried to do something there. And we're just gonna wing this last little bit here. We've got a little tiny spot that I missed that you can see on the mini map, so sometimes it's just easier to look down at the mini map and tackle things. I'm at 54%. How big is field 147 compared to 146 there? 147 is a little bit smaller, so that tells me, in theory, that I should be able to come down here and tackle that with what I've got left in the hopper here. So we're gonna give it a shot, take the risk. Unfortunately, there's no field driveway on this side of the road. I'm gonna have to take this all the way up and go in through the other side of the shop over here. I think we've got this little road right here that runs alongside the railroad tracks that should work for us. I don't know that I feel comfortable being this close to the train if it were coming by, but there's no train now, so we're good to go. And I'm going to go ahead and get this spreader turned on, and we're going to tackle this little field right quick. Thankfully, there is no lime spread on this one visually, so I can kind of see where we're going. This field is so small, by the time I get done going around it, I feel like we're going to be 80% done with it. So no sense even attempting to set up a GPS track on this. These should be interesting fields to hit with the row crop planting as well. I can't wait to see my crooked, scraggly lines for stuff like this. We're gonna just go back down the triangle here and see if we can get this done in one round. I like it. Spin up this way. And here we go. This should be the majority of what was left. Yep. And we make the U-turn and I should be done. All right. Another field completed. Now, I think we'll take this back up to the farm because we're going to not need... we're not going to need this to spread anything but lime, but I don't see a need to drive all the way back out to the field and put more lime into it right now. I'm just going to load all of the lime that we've got left out in the field back into the semi-trailer, and we'll bring that semi-trailer up here into the yard and we'll dump it back into the storage bins. In fact, I kind of want to see if I can dump the stuff that I have in here back into the storage bins. I don't know how that works. If it's a one-way thing where I can only get it out, or if I'm going to be able to unload this into the bin. So let's find out here. Well, that did not do what I thought it was going to do. I pushed I and out it went into the stuff in the yard there. We don't need any pallets, unfortunately. So we are going to take this up to the front, and I guess I'll just move those pallets by hand into the zone. Hopefully they go into our storage container here, though. I'm going to be disappointed if this thing won't accept products back into it. That was the whole point of having a setup like this. And like I said, it's been a long time since we've even used this thing. Like, you can just hear the lime going into there if you look at it. Or you can see it too, but I guess if you listen for it, you can just hear the sounds of it emptying in. And we might as well pull the semi back down and around. Make it a little bit easier to load up here. There's a lot of lime left on the ground. I'm definitely shooting myself in the foot here, the way that I dumped all of this out originally. We're gonna put it right down like so. I'm gonna probably fill the back trailer up first here, and then we'll go with the front trailer. Here is our final load. That was a bit more than I anticipated, but we did apparently use more than just one hopper. So I suppose I probably would have dumped part of that out if we'd realized, and not the whole thing, but it is what it is. It's only about 5 minutes it took us to do that, so not too shabby, not too shabby. I'm gonna get this thing loaded back up on the trailer here. We're not quite centered on here. I'm bouncing around a little bit. There we go. Let's put our bucket down, get all set up for a better towing position. Yeah, we're just ever so crooked on the trailer here. That's all right. We'll figure it out. Get everything strapped down, get these ramps folded up, and we'll bring this guy back up here to the farm. That bucket is not happy. I left it somewhat extended, it looks like, in the high dump mode. That's all right. It should make it up to the farm, and we'll get it off of here before it jiggles loose. So we're gonna have a bit of a traffic jam in the yard here with all this equipment coming back all at once. I'm not quite sure where I want to put everything just yet, so I'm gonna pull this over to the side here, and we're gonna leave it right here while I figure this out. I've got the spreader all set up here so I can get it cleaned off. We're gonna try and do a better job of keeping our equipment clean on this series, although with how long this has taken to clean things off, we might have to install that instant power wash mod, because man, this is taking forever. We got it pretty dirty here over the course of the spring, apparently. Oh well, good deal. I'm seeing that this thing is still kind of dirty. I think that's what's going on. So let's do our best here to keep things from getting cluttered up in the yard. I'm going to bring this back into this other shed here where we've got the sprayer. This is going to be our dedicated shed for this equipment, I think. Mostly because it has this nice wide door here, and I can make the 90-degree turn in to drop off the spreader. Something like that. And then if we, not X, what is Q to drop it off, I can go ahead and pull forward out of that. We are going to be using the sprayer next, but I don't need to hook that up right now. We'll deal with that in a future time. I think last but not least for the spring work here before we get into planning is just to take this lime that we have left over and get it dumped into our new storage facility over there. I'm really curious to see how this works out, and if it does indeed work how I think it's going to. And then we might have to think about buying this trailer setup. I'm on the fence still. It's going to be a couple $100,000 for us to invest in keeping this on the farm full time. But I guess I could use it for grain as well. Man, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. We'll keep the lease going here until I get ready to record the next episode. And we'll figure out if we're going to hang on to this setup or not. Maybe I'll sell off one of the other grain trailers, and we'll have this and one normal grain trailer on the farm. That might be the best solution, I feel like. I'm not going too fast here. We've got the train that we're waiting for. It's a long train. Now, the one thing I am a little bit worried about with this setup is, can I get it close enough to these bins with the way the corner works down here and then still pull around to get back out, because there's no chance of me backing this setup out anywhere. So I'm gonna turn in here as close as I can. I'm hoping that our planter isn't gonna be in the way here. There we go. And man, where is that zone? I do wish this one had a marker on the ground. I'm just looking here. We pulled just a smidge too far forward. I'm going to try and back up and see if that'll do it for me. There we go. I got it. Just barely. We're going to dump this out. Perfect. I don't like having to use the debug tools to show the collisions for this. I do need to just get a better handle on where that dump trigger is, but it's the only thing about this setup so far that I've struggled with a bit. I do like how it works and how much it stores, though. I'm gonna bring these trailers right over here and leave them parked behind this barn, like so. And then if I need to pick them up, I'll be able to do that and hopefully make the turn back this way. Yeah, we'll be able to just do that turn, I think, and get turned around back here. That's the plan, at least. We'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about it. However, that's going to be the end of today's episode. A little bit of messing around here trying to get everything sorted out, but I think we've got everything ready to go, and we can move into spring planting next episode, which is what I'm the most excited about. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, hit that like button, helps me out a lot. That's all for today. Ketterk out.